and welcome to After Hours at the Notting Hill Bookshop, the podcast where author and bookseller come together to discuss their shared love of reading. I'm Rachel, a bookseller here in Notting Hill, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Ben Reeves. Ben, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's lovely to be here in this beautiful shop.
Of course, thanks. So to start with, at our shop we sell blind dates of a book, which are books where you don't know what you're getting into, it's all wrapped up. If you were to set me up on a blind date of a book, which would you pick?
Wow, okay. I would probably go for, have you ever read Life of Pi?
Not read it, no.
Right,
no.
So that book, that's probably one of my favourite books of all time.
Okay.
And it's just a beautiful, beautiful book. I would recommend that to anybody who's never read it, because it's just such a beautiful adventure story, but also really philosophical. There's things that you don't get in the film that you absolutely get in the book.
Right.
And it's just so colourful and really special. I'd definitely
Brilliant.
put that one your way.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that. Turning now to your book, Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt. I want you to know that I haven't had a proper cry while reading a book for at least 10 years.
Wow.
And I'm not that old, to be honest, so that's quite a large portion of my life. Until I read Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt, and I just bawled my eyes out. What do you have to say for yourself for the mess that you made me?
Well, I'm always really happy to hear that. I think good art should make us feel something, and very often that makes us cry. And hopefully it wasn't all sad tears. Hopefully there was some joy there as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's the absolute biggest compliment for any artist or writer, just to hear that something you created actually moved someone in that way.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I was conscious of while writing it. I never want to make people feel depressed or anything like that, but I certainly wanted to explore some of the tougher questions in life, but also ultimately hopefully uplift people.
Yeah. Talking about kind of the tougher questions, so your book contains this personification of death itself. He's a sort of central character. How did you go about narrowing down this kind of mammoth concept into a middle-aged gentle man called Travis?
It's a good question. So it sort of happened organically. I knew I wanted the main character to be death. And I was like, well, where do you go with that? Because, as you say, it's this huge concept. So I thought, well, am I going to show different countries, different time zones? I was like, no, I just want it to be now, basically now, and I want it all to be in a small town, because that will really crystallise the idea. And then I sort of thought, well, what sort of person would my death be? If I'd really try to put myself in his shoes. How would I feel? How would I kind of navigate the world if I was death? I think he would be quite lonely, because you wouldn't want to make too many close friendships, because that every single person you ever meet, you're going to watch them die because you are death. So he'd be quite lonely. And also, I really wanted him to be very in touch with the whole cycle of life and nature, and very in tune with the world around us. I didn't want it to just be morbid. I wanted him to be, he really takes a pleasure in life, and just the colour and magic of the everyday drama of the world. And that was so fun to play with. I actually really miss writing from Travis's point of view. I don't think I ever will again, but just to spend that time through his eyes was beautiful. It was really, really fun and really enjoyable to think about what kind of person he would be. And hopefully I've created something unique. There's obviously other personifications of death. A few that spring to mind are Marcus Zuzak's Book Thief.
Yes, of course,
and Meet Joe Black, the film. But I think Travis is something a little bit different.
It's new, There's, as you said, the sort of seeing the world through Travis's eyes. What made my favourite thing about this book was just like little everyday hyper specific but yet so ordinary details, and how beautifully you describe them. But how did you come up with all of these? It's just teeming with them. Did you have like were you just walking down the street like writing a list of things you observed?
Do you know what? That's not too far from the truth. I've got a 40-minute walk every day to work and 40 minutes back, and a lot of the book is sort of loosely set where I live. So I was taking very, as you say, hyper specific inspiration from that walk, and I just see a a parked ambulance with the doors open and a stretcher, an empty stretcher, and my mind would, get thinking about what's going on there, who's in the house, are they okay, are they dying, are they old, are they young, and the thing about Peterborough where I live is it's very urban, but also very connected to nature. It's like concrete and it's green. It's both of those things.
Okay.
You've got the life and you kind of got the decay.
Yeah.
So that just felt perfect for this book. And so I'd really, while I was walking, just really try and be mindful of every single detail that's going on, because that's what Travis does. That's how he sees the world.
Yeah.
It's funny because before I wrote this book, I don't feel like I was as close as I am now to where I live.
Okay.
But writing it really, it sort of taught me that you can pay attention to anything and it'll be interesting.
Yeah. And I'll say, like, even from the perspective of reading it, I think, like, I don't know if it's just me reading a book, but I feel like you can internalize the voice of an author and narrator. And when you're writing in that kind of level of detail, I found myself picking up on things around me more and also seeing through that perspective.
Awesome.
And that just exercise was so life-affirming in itself.
Yeah.
And I was only about like 10 pages in, to be honest, when I started. I was yet to have my heart shattered. But it was, it's just incredible.
Yeah, I think that's a big message. If the book has a message, I think one of them, and I never like to say, oh, this is the message, but one thing that I like to explore in this book is the idea of just paying attention.
Yeah.
I think that you can have the worst possible things going on in your life, but if you can just pay attention to the small, beautiful things that are all around us every single day, it can. I think your life is what you pay attention to. So we should pay attention to those small, beautiful things that actually matter.
Yeah. And kind of going back to those sort of dark themes that you explore in the book, grief is something that I think a lot of us shy away from. And yet in this book, we're seeing it just sort of, you're not just seeing kind of people's relationship with death, but people's relationship with grief, and even kind of death's relationship with grief in a way. What kind of compelled you to go and to approach this topic?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think I've always thought about death a lot in my life. I've had various things happen. I don't like to go too much into that because I wouldn't want it to affect the way people perceive the book. But it's something I've always thought about. Particularly, I've always felt the time is running out. And I feel like a lot of people just live their lives in this beautiful way where they're not thinking about it. But I think having an awareness of it and thinking about death a bit more can just give context to every single moment of your life. Like an example I give a lot is you're stuck in traffic and that can annoy you. Yeah. But if you think, I'm going to die one day, and you're stuck in traffic and you look around and you see these beautiful trees and you see, someone walking their dog and you're like, actually, this is beautiful. Yes, I'm stuck in traffic. It just doesn't matter because one day I'm going to die, and I would give anything. If I was 90 years old on my deathbed, I'd give anything just to be in this moment right now in this car, 38 years old, with two beautiful kids. Like, it's just having that awareness is so important, and I really wanted people to maybe think about it a little bit more. It is scary, but that's probably why we should talk about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just like one big kind of perspective shift in a way.
Yeah.
It is such an emotionally kind of generous book. Was there ever a point where you had to go, I need to like take a step back, or I need to protect myself in some way from what I'm giving here?
Yeah, a little bit. So you can definitely go too far. I think there are books along similar lines as this, but it's almost like they're trying to just make you feel bad.
Yes.
I never ever wanted that. I think literature should ultimately make you feel good. Yeah. Even if it's something really sad. Yeah. But there were points where there are some pretty hard scenes in the book, and I think actually my agent said you've probably gone a bit too far here. Yeah. With the reaction to a particular death. Yes. You can show people crying and tearing their hair out, and you can. Sometimes it's best to just leave it to the reader's imagination a little bit, and I do sometimes have a habit of going a bit too far. There's quite early on, I don't know how much you want to get into spoilers, but quite early on there's a little boy who dies. Yes. Noah Finch, He's very, very small.
Yeah.
But the way I tried to do that scene was to almost not focus on the sadness of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's tragic and heartbreaking. Yeah. But I tried to focus on just how much his parents loved him, and how, you know, in this moment, just Travis with little Noah.
Yeah.
He reads him a bedtime story, and it's you know, obviously, yeah, it's very, very sad, but I didn't want to focus on the sadness. I wanted to focus on this kind of weirdly beautiful moment.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was fun to play with. I tried to do that throughout the whole book. You probably noticed.
Yes.
Like, there's sadness, but it's always coupled with some kind of beauty, because that's the way Travis has to see things. You know, to be death, you can't always be focusing on how depressing it is. You have to try and find some kind of beauty in it.
Yes. Yeah. I was about to say that the deaths within the book are all very, very kind of peaceful in a way, even though you have this mix of characters, and sometimes there's a bit of, you know, what are you doing here? It wasn't meant to be now, but in the end there is this just overwhelming peace.
I think so. Like, I could have maybe put some slightly more violent ones in there, but it's not that sort of book.
No.
I think even if I did do that, though, I would still still would have focused on the last few moments of just that piece, because that's Travis's job. We never see what happens after he takes them into the afterlife. His job is he's kind of an usher. He wants to make you feel comfortable. He will listen to you. He'll be really patient with you. He'll never ever judge anything you've done in your life. That's not his job. His job is just to be there at the end. As I say, I really do. I miss.
You were seeing.
It was a real gift, actually, to be able to write from that point of view.
Brilliant. And as well as being deaf, Travis also kind of works with a lot of kind of photographs, and he does sort of photo restoration projects. Also, the little girl, Lila, with her photos of odd things as well.
Yeah.
Why did you have these themes of photography kind of slipping in?
So I thought quite long and hard about that. I wanted Travis to have some kind of hobby or vocation outside of his job as deaf, and I think at one point he was like he would fix clocks.
Clocks?
Because it sort of had themes of time passing.
If you could turn back time.
Yeah, exactly. But photographs are perfect because it's memories. It's you know, the funny thing about a photograph is the older the photograph is, the younger you are in the photograph, and it really has this sense of time. It has this sense of life. He finds this connection with Layla because she also takes loads of photos, and to take photos you have to be able to pay attention to things.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, you could take a picture of something really simple, and at first glance you might think, well, why would you take a picture of a stop sign with a bird on it? But to pay attention in that moment and think, actually, that is interesting, I will take a picture of that. It just really tied in. I'm huge on theme. I think theme is so important.
Okay.
Especially to me as a writer.
Yeah.
You can almost do anything you want if it's thematic.
Okay.
It would always feel like it's part of this solid thing. So I really thought quite a lot about that, and photography or photo restoration seemed like the perfect choice.
Perfect way. Did you have a kind of, with all the kind of families death sort of pops in and out of, did you kind of have a favourite little vignette or story?
Yeah, it changes quite a lot. The one I keep thinking about recently for some reason is there's a hoarder guy, and his house is full of rubbish, and he hasn't left the house in years. And Travis turns up in overalls, and he's got a mop and bucket, and he's sort of tailored himself to what that guy needs in that space. And they clean the house together. And I don't know why, I just think about that one quite a lot.
Yeah.
I really like the family who get a new TV, and a lot of that's sort of weirdly told from the TV's point of view, because it's watching the family.
Yeah.
And I'd think about the little boy Noah Finch quite a lot as well.
Yeah. I was personally a big fan of the funeral with the mother, and then they just kind of can't stop laughing and sort of, it felt so kind of raw somehow.
So
that one.
I wanted that comes right after a big event in the book, a really big sad event. So I wanted a bit of levity, a bit of something that didn't involve Travis, just some, almost like a little palate cleanser.
Yeah.
And I thought, actually, me and my brothers are the sort of guys that we would laugh at a funeral.
Yeah.
And it's not disrespect. It's a real celebration of that person's life, just to be able to tell a story, and it makes you laugh. And it's I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourites actually as well.
Beautiful even when a lot of things hurt. Yes. And at the end of the book, that's not really a spoiler. It's like you close it with this, and call it a 20-minute gift.
Yes.
Of if death were to approach you and you were going back to the time when you read those words, how are you going to change in those 20 minutes?
Yeah.
What was this kind of impetus to kind of giving that out? Was it just an extension of everything you worked in? And
yeah, I was walking to work and I wrote that on my phone, and it wasn't going to be in this book. I think I wrote it before I wrote this book.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was just something I was thinking about, because I was thinking because I'm a dad, I've now got a 12-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy, and there's nothing like having kids for making you realise that time is short and your life is running out. And I would think about that a lot, and I was just walking to work, and I was thinking, if I had 20 minutes to go back to any time, it would probably be this sort of time, because they're still young, and I will miss it when they're older.
Yes.
And so I wrote that, and then I think I sent it to Kelly, my wife, and then later on I was like, actually it'd be perfect for the end of this book.
And to me it felt like it made me definitely think about kind of where I'd want that to find me, and just have that extra little bit of just appreciation. Again, like back to the word life affirming. It's such a kind of well crafted arc to get to that point. It's a brilliant book. I don't know what else to say. I loved it so much.
Okay.
So as we kind of come to the end of this, for the last kind of, I guess, 10 minutes, I would love to offer you the chance to have a wander around our bookshop.
Oh yes, please, yeah.
And pick out some of your favourite books. Feel free to
absolutely
details
great
along the way.
Brilliant.
But there you are.
Thank you very much. I will do. My first book is Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. This was quite a big inspiration for my book, because a lot of it's about death and grief, obviously. But it's written in a way that I've never seen any other book written before. It's so it's so kind of, how do I even describe it? There'll be bits. It's told in bits. There's lots of little bits. It's like bits of thought and bits of dialogue and bits of imagery, and it doesn't do all the stuff that a book normally feels like it has to do. Full paragraphs of like big long story and plot. It's all feeling. It's 100% feeling and atmosphere, and just a really beautiful story about grief. My second book is The White Book by Han Kang. I'm really interested in books that are told in strange ways. I like experimental fiction, and I think there's so many different ways that we can tell a story, and it doesn't always have to be like once upon a time there was this guy and he did this. This is all told through white things, the snow and receipts and a blanket and things like that, and it's just really beautiful. It's quite sad and just really moving, and I think it's just a great book. Everybody should read it. There's a little theme here because I like short books. My book's quite short. And the third one, I'm actually still reading this, I'll be honest, but I know it's going to be one of my absolute favourites. On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. It's a masterclass in how to write great fiction. Absolutely just the most gorgeous prose. You can tell that it's just so poetic. And I love actually hearing Ocean speak about writing. I've watched a few interviews, and it's I think definitely like a writer that will be, I think, will go down as one of our greatest writers of this time. So yes, I'm very happy with my 3 books. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I agree. I am team short book for the win. Just like nice and. I mean, I'll read a long book, but nice punchy.
Definitely,
short book.
There's something about it's almost a different art form, a short book to a long book. But I love a short one because it's like they really distilled what they wanted to say.
Thank you so much for coming in today and
Thank you for
putting up with me kind of just gushing at you. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's out in July, and I hope it makes everybody cry.
You should read it, even if it does make you cry.
Yeah, it's sad and uplifting, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.